Do you want to make huge money in the real estate industry? Are you a beginner who wants to enter the real estate industry but is afraid to make a big move? Do you want to be an expert opinion about the best options for real estate investing? Then you are at the right place. In this video, I will tell you all the secret techniques I use to evaluate many of my properties and make millions of dollars in profit. My success plan for long-term real estate investment is based on buying a property that can be rented out to others. I will tell you about the strategy in detail, so make sure you watch the video all the way through to the end. If you were new here, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of these informative videos. And if you find this video valuable, do give it a big thumbs up, as it keeps me motivated to keep making videos for you. Hey guys, welcome to RJN Invests. Now let's jump right into it. 1. Focus on the bigger picture. The first piece of advice I want to offer you for real estate success is to think about the long term. Many people have recently been inquiring, should I buy now? Interest rates appear to be quite high. Maybe I should hold off for now. If, on the other hand, you intend to buy and own a property for a foreseeable future, you can technically acquire the property at any moment and make it profitable, as long as you keep your eye on the big picture. The property's worth will rise over time as rent rises and the building itself appreciates. You should not worry about the immediate gains. Additionally, there are tax benefits available when buying real estate. As long-term investors, you need to do your research to guarantee the prospects of a sound investment. Another suggestion is to move into the house that you are buying. This way, you will be paying less money for the down payment. I made a 5% down payment instead of a 20% when I moved into the property. Most mortgage lenders demand 20% down payment if the borrower is not the primary occupant of the home. Next, you need to pay the private mortgage insurance (PMI) payments, which will be deducted in a monthly mortgage payments, but they will not reduce the overall mortgage. But this will help you to move into the property. When I bought the house, the market was wild, and it only grew crazier from there. But I was not willing to wait any longer to make any major down payment and pay the PMI, as I knew it would be well worth it in the long run. Next, I put some roommates into the property to cover the mortgage payments. While it's true that some seasons will be more favorable than others for buying a home, you shouldn't worry too much about seasonality if you're in it for the long term. And if you ever find yourself in need of it, you can always refinance your property. Make sure the figures add up by calculating your monthly payment alongside the amount you could get in rent from roommates. Also, since you are thinking about the long term, you should not be worried about making $1,000 in profit every month. Even if it's only a few $100s, that's fine, because you can expect the rent to keep going up and the investment to grow in value. 2. Find the best tenants for your property. As a successful real estate investor, you need to understand that the better tenants you have, the better your experience will be. Tenant screening is essential. You should opt for well-located and well-maintained properties. As a result, you will receive multiple requests from tenants. Next, you should have a thorough background and credit check of the potential tenants. Also, you can meet them in person at the property to get a sense of who they really are and how they maintain their current property. You can observe their car too, if they keep it clean or it is cluttered. Next, you can ask them broad questions when you meet them to get a sense of who they are before you commit to a longer conversation about the property. Some questions can be, where do you work now? How long have you been there? Do you have any housemates right now? You can make an effort to understand the person's general vibe. When I initially started out as a landlord, I made some bad decisions by renting to tenants whose credit and background checks turned out to be less thorough than I would have liked. I had no prior experience with renting. She explained that she was going through a hard patch financially and getting a divorce, so I gave in and rented to her. Because of her failure to pay her rent and late fees on time, I had to file a claim against her in small claims court. So my suggestion should be to rent your property to a reasonable person, and it will make your life as a landlord much easier. For this, make sure to spend time selecting your tenants. Many people will be discouraged from renting out the property when they have heard horror stories about tenants who trash the property, fail to pay rent, or refuse to vacate. However, these cases are 1 in 50 tenants, which is worth taking a little bit of a risk. You should also focus on the positive things, such as my tenant paid rent on time again this month. My tenants are keeping my property clean. So despite what you have heard, investing in real estate is not always a negative idea. 3. Sign a contract. This is a very important part of any successful real estate investment. You should specify when rent is due, whether or not will be a late fee after a specific date, who is responsible for maintaining the yard, who must put the utilities in their name, and what happens after your lease expires. Can you add additional information such as does the contract renew automatically, or do they pay rent monthly or an additional fee? A contract is where you all get the specifics written down and signed by the tenants and yourself, so there's no misunderstanding later on. If you have any legal trouble with your tenants, you can always rely on the written contract and win the case. When a tenant signs a legal document, the agreement's terms and conditions bind them legally, and it will go in your favor. 4. Find a good location. You should always invest in a property that is both in a desirable location and in excellent condition, so its value will increase in the future. If you are not too handy, you can find a place that doesn't need any work that can be rented out right away. That way, you can immediately begin receiving your income. You will always get higher quality tenants if the property you're buying is in a great area. Naturally, you'll be able to charge more for the space. Yes, you'll have to spend more initially to acquire the property, but in the long run, you'll benefit from more revenue, as well as the ability to attract and retain higher quality renters. Another tip is to find properties that you can personally visit. Then it will be convenient to visit any of the houses whenever you need to attend to maintenance issues. If you have to oversee all the properties personally, then you don't have to travel very far. So always assess your options and pick a spot that suits you well. 5. Find your momentum. As you gain experience, you'll find that real estate investing is less of a struggle. It will be a stressful experience for you when you buy your first home. Then buying your second home will be a lot easier. After you experience good results with your first home, you will confidently achieve the same results with your second investment. You can start off in smaller houses in the beginning. For example, you can start with a condo with 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. After you start making money with that property, you can buy a bigger property and relocate there with roommates. The more you buy houses or put money into an investment, the more experience and knowledge you will gain, and the entire process will become easier. There will still be times when things can go wrong, but the payoff is well worth it. You will become financially independent, even in your 30s, and a millionaire if you decide to invest in real estate at an early age. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed and learned something from this video. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and give this video a big thumbs up. So with that, have a wonderful day, and I'll meet you in the next video. Take care.